KPop Demon Hunters 2 just became more likely after Netflix and Sony announced new partnership movie. Sony and Netflix are reuniting to work on a new animated sequel, which is promising for KPop Demon Hunters' future. Sony Pictures Animation and Netflix are partnering on a new film, marking promising news for the future of KPop Demon Hunters. The collaboration between the two studios became a resounding success after KPop Demon Hunters became the smash hit of the summer. The creators of the animated musical seem keen to return to the franchise, although insiders report that some issues need to be resolved between Netflix and Sony for it to happen. A new film announcement is a positive sign that Sony Pictures and Netflix will continue their partnership. As reported by Variety, Sony Pictures Animation is working on a sequel to its 2021 Oscar-nominated film, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, which starred the voice talents of Danny McBride, Maya Rudolph, and Abby Jacobson. Production on The Mitchells vs. the Machines 2 is expected to begin in early 2026, with Guillermo Martins and J.P. Sands directing. Sony Pictures Animation is once again partnering with Netflix to distribute the sequel. Sony intended to release the first The Mitchells vs. the Machines film theatrically in 2021, but due to the pandemic, Netflix came in and bought the distribution rights. This time, that partnership has been cemented from the start, with Variety reporting that Netflix and Sony are planning a more collaborative partnership for the Mitchells vs. the Machines sequel. While this partnership remains separate from any that may involve KPop Demon Hunters, the continued collaboration between Netflix and Sony is a positive sign that the two studios can continue to work together. Reports suggested that a KPop Demon Hunters sequel couldn't move forward until the Netflix-Sony pact could be sorted out, with both studios having a stake in the IP. This reunion of Sony and Netflix for the Mitchells vs. Machines 2, which will reportedly involve a closer collaborative deal, makes a KPop Demon Hunters sequel much more likely from the two studios. KPop Demon Hunters was directed by Maddie Kang and Chris Appelhans, starring the voices of Arden Cho, Mei Hong, Jai Young-yu, Ken Jeong, and Daniel Dae Kim. The movie was released on Netflix on June 20 and received a sing-along cinema release on August 23, with both doing phenomenally well. Sony and Netflix are working it out on the remix. Sony and Netflix partnership has been ongoing for several years now, with the framework typically allowing Netflix distribution rights to several of Sony's animated films, including Spider-Man, Across the Spider-Verse, and Vivo. The KPop Demon Hunters agreement was slightly more complex as the two studios co-developed the movie, which then went straight to streaming on Netflix rather than receiving a cinema release. Industry experts have questioned that move as potentially damaging for Sony, as the film's success could have meant even more rewards for the studio at the box office if it had been released theatrically. However, it may also be the case that KPop Demon Hunters became the success it was because it had a streaming release on Netflix. Nevertheless, this debate over streaming versus theatrical is said to be one of the sticking points that the studios need to work out in their pact in order to create more KPop Demon Hunters. Netflix and Sony's partnership on Mitchells vs. the Machines 2 doesn't outline whether the film will go straight to streaming as the original did, or if it will receive a share of both theatrical and streaming. Netflix has opted for cinema windows for some of its past films, particularly those it's promoting for awards consideration, so this may be the direction for the Mitchells vs. the Machines sequel as well. Whatever happens with this sequel may be the key to Netflix and Sony working out how to collaborate on future projects, which could pave the way for the future of KPop Demon Hunters.